class today, we will be talking about custom fields, what custom fields are, and how we can create custom fields for our different users or jobs, lessons, and reports on TutorCruncher. So you can customize what information you want to store on a user profile using custom fields. You can also create custom fields for reports to add certain extra information to those reports or to certain jobs or lessons using the custom fields functionality. So to create a custom field, you need to go to System, Settings, you scroll down to System Customization and go to Custom Fields. Now, here you have this button for adding a custom field, and you can add a custom field to tutors, affiliates, clients, students, to a report, jobs, or any reviews. So let's try and add a custom field now. So this is the box that shows up when you're trying to add a new custom field. So you can first choose who it applies to. So it can apply to a tutor, a client, student, report, etc. Then you have the type of custom field. So you can choose if you want to add a checkbox, a short text box, a long text box, a drop-down menu, and so on. You name your custom field, and you can also add a help text to help you describe that custom field and what it does. You can choose the custom field to be a required field. You can also add it to lists. You can make it available in filters, and then you can choose access. So who gets access to these custom fields? Is it the tutor, the client, student, affiliate, so on. You can also add it to an inquiry form and to available jobs. So now let's try and create a custom field. Let's apply it to a report. So for example, you want to add an extra question or a drop-down menu to the report, which will make it easier for your tutor to tell you a bit more about how the student was or how the class went. So we apply it to report. The type, let's choose it as a drop-down menu. And let's call it, did the student do well? In the help text, we can simply write choose yes or no. Let's make it a required field, so the tutor has to fill it when they're filling out the report. It will automatically choose who can access. So a report essentially needs to be accessed by the tutor because they need to fill it out, and a client can view it because you would want the client to know how their student did. You don't want the student to view it, so keep that unchecked. And for drop-down options, you need to separate these by commas. So we put yes and no. Let's save this. Right, so you will be able to see that this custom field has now been added to your report. And it shows up as a drop-down. And well, none of the reports have this filled out yet. So let's try and test this out now. So let's go to jobs. Let's go to a test job here. And let's add a new lesson. Doesn't matter what we call it. And let's record this lesson. You're taken to the report, and here the custom field shows up. So you can choose yes or no and save the report. Right. Now, another example for adding custom fields, let's try and add a custom field to one of our users, all right? So again, let's go back to System Settings, System Customization, Custom Fields. So now let's say we want to add a custom field to our student. Add custom field, apply it to your student. And let's say we want to now use a checkbox to see if a student is in London or not. So do they live in London or do they live somewhere else? In terms of help text, Do they live in London? Right, that looks all right. Um, let's make this a required field again. Let's make available in filter so that you can filter our students who are in London. And let's give access to tutor, client, student. Brilliant. And click save. Now, if you go back to your student now, and let's just choose one of these, we go to actions, edit profile, and now this custom field will show up under extra fields. So all custom fields show up under extra fields. And here it is. We've got a checkbox. Do they live in London or somewhere else? So if they do live in London, check this checkbox, submit. Perfect. Now we can also filter these out because remember we applied it in filter. So it's available in filters. So let's go back to students, filter, custom fields, London shows up, yes, and filter this out. Jessica is the only one for whom we've checked this checkbox, so she shows up in the filtered list.